Okay, thank you for tuning in to the Change After 40 podcast. I am your host, I'm Misha Graham, and today we have a special guest with us, Miss Veronica Murphy, and the topic is living the best version of yourself. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Miss Murphy. Give everybody a little bit about your background, what you do, and everything. And once again, thank you for being on my podcast.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. My name is Veronica Murphy. I am first a woman of God, child of God. I am a freelance paralegal, notary, mentor, also a consultant credit repair. So with that being said, amongst other things unknown, but a little bit about me. I am a caring, loving mother of two, grandmother of one. But also I care about each and every one. I have a heart for giving. I have a heart that cares more about others than self.
That's true. That's so true. That's so true. So with the topic today, living the best version of yourself, how would you define living the best version of yourself?
I define living the best version of myself. Back before I took this role with God seriously, I thought I was living the best version of me in a materialistic way. You know, I was blessed with the finer things, money and everything. But then, you know what, when you stumble across hard times and you lose things like, you know, someone special or, you know, just life in general, you know, some of the materialistic things, you have no one to call on but God. And when you do, you get very serious with God. God open your eyes to be able to allow you to see is more to life than how you see things upon your own understanding. And it makes you start appreciating the things that you took for granted, which is life, health, and strength, which is, you know, having a place to stay, having a car to drive, being able to bear children, because some people can't. You know, we complain about things we shouldn't. And then also, it just make you realize that when God take you through some things and bring you out of, it make you realize that a lot of things wasn't you, it was God that seen you through. So that's why I say living the best version of me, myself, I couldn't put it no other way, is I'm able to be the person I am because I have Christ in my life. And I'm walking like Christ and with Christ. And that's the best, greater thing than anything else, because living that life, it teaches you love. I've always had love, but love in a different way. I don't put me first. I put everybody before me, and I don't complain. I thank God because I'm not a selfish person. No. I could be further ahead with, you know, millions and all of that, but that stuff isn't important to me anymore. My happiness is making others happy. My happiness is being there for my children, setting the right example, because I feel like whatever is not for me, I ask God to pass it down to my generation of my boys. I'd rather go ahead and wear the cross, that their life can be easier, because I have been through some hard things and some unthinkable things, but I knew if it wasn't for God, I would have never made it through. And I say that because some of the things that I've encountered, most people probably would have turned to drugs, suicide or something, just couldn't be able to handle that. But you know what? I turn to God, I fall on my knees, I pray. So, and then I also hang around positive people. See,
that's a main plus. Like you have, sorry to cut you off. No. You have to be around people that think like you, that's aiming for the same goals that you have, so you can feed off each other. You can't feed off for somebody that's, you want to share your goals and your things that you want to do with, and then you have that person like, oh, they want to talk about something else. It's like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not on that. So what you just said is very important.
Yeah, and you know what, Amisha, I can agree with you on that. Like you said, that comes with growth when you outgrown some things. Because you know what, like you said, when you hang around the negative people, when you were in that world or living, that at that time, when you walked away from that and you talk back to them same people, they're talking about the same things that you were talking about back then. There's no growth, you understand? And what I realized, it's easy to bring a person that's negative can bring a positive person down than a positive person bringing a negative person up. So you have to be so careful what you connect yourself to.
That connection will cause you some real bad decisions. And I wouldn't say decisions. Being connected to the wrong people at a time in your life where you're trying to go totally different will cause you to miss out on opportunities. I'm gonna just say that.
And I agree. Let me tell you something. Yes, ma'am, I do agree, because I'm gonna tell you something. It puts you in a different mindset with negative people. They keep you in like this box. They can't see outside the box. They're talking about the same thing, or they got something to say about everybody but self. It's everybody's fault but them, But when you hang around the positive people, even though you're not where you want to be, they believe in you, they push you. You understand what I'm saying? Even though that their position is better than yours, they still treat you equal, because at the end of the day, they want you to be where they are. So those are the people that you want to connect to, is somebody that's going to keep you accountable, for your own. When you sit and you tell them, oh, you know what, listen, I'm thinking about going to school. I'm thinking about taking a trade. Okay, you may have a conversation today, and then, here it is, a week or so go by, but that positive person gonna say, well, hey, what's going on with you with school? What's going on with you with this trade? They're gonna be, make you, remind you of that. Listen, I see you. Listen, I can see you being that realtor you want to be. I can see you being that motivational speaker. And they're gonna push, they're gonna encourage, they're gonna give you resources or whatever to make sure you reach your peak. So that's but it's a change of mindset. What I had to learn, you have to go through some things to be able to appreciate this place. Because sometimes, like when people don't go through enough, they still won't get it. They could be put right in their face, but they haven't lost enough, or they haven't went through enough to be able to know the difference.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, honey. When God give you that second chance, that second win, take advantage of it. Because you know what? So many
a lot of people don't get that opportunity to have a second chance. Not even a second thirst. God give you so many chances and chances and chances, but then you have to ask yourself, okay, like, I think I'm pushing it. Like, is he really gonna get me out of it this time? Because he don't help me out way before. So it's like, at a point you're like, you know what? I have to do my part so he can continue to do his part. Because,
Yeah, which is so true. And, one thing I thank God about the spirit that I have, just like, look, I'm single, I'm not married. So even, you're single when you're not married.
You single?
So, and let me tell you something, even though you're single and not married, and I've never been married, I can still be happy for those who are married. But when the negative people, they can't be happy for somebody because they don't have it. I can be happy for people even though I don't have certain things. I love that positivity out of me. I can give off too, even if my day's so bad, I can still make somebody's day good. See, that's, that's a person that doesn't have a selfish heart or a selfish soul. And I thank God for the heart that I have. Sometimes I question it because it's just so good, and so caring. But then at the end of the day, I thank God for it, because that's why God continuously bless me, unexpectedly. He may let me fall, but he never let me drown.
Ooh, say that again.
He may let me fall, but he never let me drown.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's
always
deep.
It's always at a point where when I start getting, a little stressed or worried, God will show up and show out. Just like this week. I'm telling you, just like this week, he blessed me 3 times, unexpected blessings, 3 times this week. Bam, bam, bam. Every other day, Monday, Wednesday, and I think Thursday. So yeah, 3 times. Unexpected blessings.
What would that older person say? That's favor, right?
Yeah, that's favor. So that's what I thank God for. Favor.
Favor, right? Because everybody not able to have favor on their side.
That's what I'm telling you. So I thank God for that. I promise you. And I'm going to tell you something. I thank God for the change. I thank God that he changed me from who I used to be. And like I said, I wasn't a bad person, but I view life wrong, and what I mean, the materialistic things or certain things. I just thank God he took that from me. Don't get me wrong. I like nice things, but it's not a priority. You understand what I'm saying?
I guess that comes with growth, though. That goes back to what you say. It comes with growth. Like now you know better, you do better.
Yes. And guess how I got there?
How?
Self-evaluation.
There you
So
go.
I
That's
had
deep
to.
too. Self-evaluation is really because you have to write that stuff down. You have to really go back and looking like, oh, I was doing this. I did that.
Okay, I'm telling you, you have to, you know what?
Yes.
Sometimes God will remind you of some of the things that you have, tried to forget, but he have to let you see where you was and where I brought you from. But self-evaluation is the hardest thing, to be able to look yourself in that mirror and to be able to see your flaws. You understand? Because sometimes you could hear people say things, but sometimes we be on the defense. So we take it wrong. But when you can look in that mirror and you could be real with yourself, and then once you self-evaluate and you work on your flaws, then you could be able to work on your goods. But then with the self-evaluation, what happens in that area, it makes you become better, because now you learn how to love on you. Because how can you be anything for anybody if you can't love yourself? If you can't make you happy, how can you have those expectations from other people when you can't apply it to yourself? How can you know who love you if you don't love yourself? If you steady beating you down and then a person trying to pick you up because you're not there, you know what? You always feel like it's something behind. But that comes with growth, but that comes with recognition, and that comes with waking up. But the only way, you have to be willing. You have to be willing to want to change. You have to be willing to want to come out of wherever you was. You have to not be so comfortable, because sometimes we get so comfortable, and we don't know how to come out of, being so comfortable. But like I said,
that's where God steps in and he makes you uncomfortable. I think I posted something earlier this week regarding that statement where God will make you, oh, how did it go? You're like you become so comfortable to where he would make you uncomfortable in your comfort. And that applies to me in so many ways, because I was afraid to come out of my little shell and just do certain things because of whatever issues that I have about myself. And it goes back to what you said about, if you don't love yourself, you don't appreciate who you are as an individual, how can I expect my husband, anybody else? Like, I have to say that, hey, Nisha, you are beautiful. You may not be that size 12, 16, but guess what? That's not who God has you to be at that moment. Because girl, if he had me at a size 12 or 16, who knows? Like, who knows where would I be? I'm just being real. Like,
Right.
So I had to love that he made me who I am today. I'm a little thick. I'm gonna say thick because that's what it is. But I have to love it, and I have to embrace it. I have to dress it up with, the beauty the natural beauty that he gave to me. So I appreciate what you said. You have to love yourself. You have to appreciate who you are as an individual first before you say you expect someone else to respect you in a certain way or talk to you in a certain way. How can I expect someone or want someone to talk to me with respect and dignity where I can't even respect myself or talk to my own self with dignity or positive words or encouraging words? So, it's that, wow.
Yeah, but that is, let me tell you something, that is so true. And I think if a lot of people, before they go to committing to other people, friendships, relationship, marriage, and stuff like that, people can avoid a lot of problems. They can avoid a lot of, because when you take in that baggage where you at,
Yeah.
and then sometimes you expecting somebody to clean up your mess when you couldn't clean up yourself, and that's where some problems start, because you ain't being real with yourself about you, about who you are.
Not being real with yourself.
Yeah, not being real. So,
I think a lot of people have a problem with that, being real with who they are.
yes.
Because that's deep to sit and think about who, I'm gonna just say who Amisha Renee White is, because that's that's my name before I got married. Amisha Renee White. Who is she? She's somebody totally different than Amisha Renee Graham is, but
Yes.
wow, that's deep. Okay, all right, that's a totally different topic, so we'll
But
leave
you
that
know what?
alone.
But I love that, and I want to say to you, I am very proud because I saw your growth.
Okay.
She's one of the my sisters in Christ. So we all started the journey on an accountability call. We uplift one another, motivate one another. So it's
Thank God
good
for
to
that
be,
call.
I'm telling you, it's good to be able to see you coming from the back, because you was shy, and you knew what was in you, but you were scared to bring it out of you, And so now, just you inspire me. Just seeing that you open up your podcast, to be able to see you open up your self-care, to be able to see you just open
That
up your
means
mouth.
a lot to me for you to say that I inspire you, because I look at it and say, like, who am I? I'm like, me, Anisha, inspired you. And a lot of people say that. I get text messages and emails and inboxes all the time, and stating that what you're talking about and the platform. I love the platform that you created for people to come in and just express themselves. And I'm just like, little old me, but I appreciate that.
You're welcome. See, it's little old you in the eyes of man, but it's big you, the bigger version of you in the eyes of God. And so you rather have the eyes of God than the eyes of man, because it's favorable. And that's why each week you have
I had to learn that though, Veronica, because and it took to somebody said to me, why do you need validation from others?
Say it again.
So, and I took it personal when this individual said it to me, because I was like, you didn't know me like that to say that. And then so I said, why do you say that? And then it took to where it's like said something about you post things like asking for others' opinion when you already know what you want to do anyway. So why do you need validation from anyone? Only person you need validation from is God.
That is so true. And it's so crazy that you just said that, because I'm going to tell you something. Just because, even like, okay, you post, and if you get caught up in the numbers, you'll miss the message. Always keep this in mind, that the favor that God has on your life, you are an intimidation to some and to others. So they won't give you the credibility that you deserve. They won't share a love, because they know you're worthy. Because they
better get on this journey and come on, ride with me, because I know God's getting ready to take me to a totally different level, totally different place, the level that I'm comfortable to be in, the level that I want to be in. I'm not trying to be this fame, but it's however God has it. So come on, let's go. Let's ride this journey together. I'm going to encourage you. You encourage me. I'm gonna call you. You call me. That's what I need. Like, come on, let's go.
Right.
We all getting ready to make this whole thing happen.
I see you going higher too. And I'm glad that you corrected yourself when you said, because see, you kept yourself at a small when God had you at a big, because see, your start ain't always your finish. You understand what I'm saying? Because how you start is not how you're going to finish. And so what it is, because like the statement that was made, the validation, you look for people for validation when God say just depend on me. And so that's why he ain't put the numbers there yet. You understand what I'm saying? Because he's showing you what he can do. And it's not man that's getting you where you need to be. That's why every week you have someone, you have a show, you have a topic. See, God didn't fail you, but man will. So God just telling you is keep your eyes on him and not on man.
I received that. Drop the mic. So I guess you just go drop the mic on me.
I love it.
Dropping the mic, I love it. Walking away with the little heels on.
Girl, okay. But I really love it. Let me tell you something. I'm really like enjoying this, because I'm telling you, Anisha, I am very proud of you. You really inspired me. And the reason I say this, because I am 48. Thank God, proud. You understand what I'm saying? But see, the vision that I have now, thank you. The vision I have now is what I had 28 years ago about my own talk show. Podcast, when podcasts came out, about being a motivational speaker, about being a real estate agent, writing a book, being an author. I have always had this, but then, what, fear stopped me. And then, operating out of emotions when things happen in my life that I wasn't prepared for, I didn't work through it. I let it affect me. But what I had to realize that everything is all in God's timing. But I still haven't gave up on it. I haven't given up on it. And then just to see, when you had told me, and then bam, before I know you was out. And I'm just very proud of you. I can tell you what my podcast is. I already got the name. I can tell you what the name of my book is. Now I'm going to start moving on it. But then, like I said, to be able to see you doing what God have you do, and just how easy it just flow. God saying, you know what? Hey, follow my lead. I got you. Just like God
sometimes
got you.
It scares me because, the things that I ask him for, the things that I pray for, and when I start letting go, stop letting my fear into fear of what God had for me, things starts to open up, things starts to flourish. Like, I've been praying for, I've been saying I wanted to do a podcast. When I wasn't working for a while back, and I used to send my friend videos, and I think I mentioned this the first part of my podcast season one, when I used to send my friend a video of me of just talking my thoughts out and just talking about things. And she said to me, you need to do a podcast. You because you're so real and you're so like serious about things, you can help someone. And I was like, at this time, like, I'm just trying to find my way. I'm trying to figure out where I should be doing, what I should be doing, I should say. And she said, no, you should do a podcast. And I'm like, put it on the back burner. And I talked to, Miss Cynthia about it. And I said, I want to do a podcast. And I think I'm going to do it for my birthday. And and it just like bam, 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 everything. And it's just like, okay, I allow my fear not to take over. Sometimes it comes back. Sometimes I have to say, God, I need you to, take over this fear thing. Like just get it out of me. But that's life, and as COVID hit, and it reminded me, when COVID took my aunt, and it was like, wow, life can just be gone in just a second. Because I was just eating dinner with my aunt, like, 2 weeks ago at her house. Right. And she wasn't, sick like that to be, to just, and she was just gone. And it's just like, Misha, you really need to do what you want to do, because who says that you're going to be here for the next whatever, time. So I'm saying this to you. You want to do it? Do it. Go ahead and do it. do it with because I was like, I don't have the equipment to do it at home. I need to find a podcast studio, blah blah blah. And somebody was like, you could do that from your house. Like,
Right.
you don't need, you got your computer, you got an iPhone, whatever the case may be. Stop making excuses. So I'm saying to you, no more excuses. You want to do that podcast, you already have your name, you already have everything. Do it. You have the support. You got, girl, you have on that call at 6:30 in the morning, you got what? You got a whole entourage. Not to say that you need anybody to follow your
Right.
lead but you got so many people to support you, and some people don't even have that one person to support them.
That is so true. And that's what I do appreciate. Thank you for the reminder.
Yes, so do it. Because tomorrow's not promised.
Right. You're right about that. I'm glad. I thank God for COVID, because COVID is a wake up. See, a lot of people look at it as a bad
wake up
thing.
call for a lot of people.
Yes, because it, like you said, it showed that tomorrow is not promised to you. You understand what I'm saying? And it showed you that ain't nothing guaranteed to you. So if you got the mindset of an entrepreneur to want to do something on your own, step out on faith.
Yeah.
Because you know what I learned in life? We'll go hard for a job, but we'll lack ourselves.
And I'm gonna just be real too. Some people go hard for an individual, a man or woman, and then won't even go hard for themselves.
That is so true, and I agree with that. And that's one of a lot of everybody's downfall.
So we all have something that we can push each other to do better.
Yes.
So wow. So would you say like putting others first have caused you or allowed you to put your dreams and things that you wanted to on hold?
Yes. And that's the hardest part.
Do you regret that, or you just move past? Would you say?
Sometimes you know what, in some incidents, I do regret it, because I should have learned how to balance it out. I should have learned how to put me first. And I've been doing it so long. That's the hardest thing, is putting me first, because I'm so used to putting others before me. And that is one of my biggest pet peeves, downfall. Putting others first, going hard for others, and don't go hard for myself, or put myself on the back burner. I burn myself out with other people and don't have the energy for myself.
Yeah. Wow. And, somebody said to me, we was talking, and because we was talking about the same question, they said that they regret for going hard for others, not going hard for others, putting others first and then putting their stuff on the back burner. And so the thing that they regret is, and they admitted that person or the people that they put first at that time are now doing the things that they want to do, and things are just going for them. But then it's like they are stuck. Like, like I helped you, and I said, and I was the cheerleader for you, but now I'm stuck. And like, where are you to be my cheerleader?
I know that feeling all so well. I have experienced that. And people that, they get there and they forget, like you said, who was their cheerleader, who believed in them when they didn't believe in themselves. Who was there truly and loyal to them when they had nothing. And then when people get up there, they forget, and then they connect with the money level. That's not loyal. That's not friendship. Because see, when the money, get lacking, then those friends fall off, and then you want to come back to the first cheerleader who know you for you, outside of the makeup, outside of the wigs. You understand what I'm saying?
Since when you said that, sorry to cut you off. You said they come back.
They come back.
They come back. But when do you say no, that they can't come back? Because I was talking to my husband and to another friend, and when do we stop allowing these revolving doors to keep opening for people to just keep cycling themselves to us? When do we say no? Or then when do we, and I guess you can't say, well, can you say no to them? Because if you say no to them, is that going to make you not be a Christian? Or do you get what I'm
I
trying to
understand.
go?
I understand what you're saying, because I'm gonna tell you something. This is something my mom taught me.
Mhm.
Stay in it till you're strong enough to come out of it. When you're strong enough to come out of it, you don't have to worry about going back or questioning your choice or your decision. And what I mean by that, that friend, that revolving door no longer becomes a revolving door, because when they come back, you'll be able to handle them different. You won't be, how you was, where you were in that baby stage of, pampering and catering and this, that, or the other. You'll be able to be real and upfront of the things that you couldn't say before when your heart was all in it, but it'll come on a manner they'll understand. So you'll just handle things different now how you did before.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're smart enough, they'll get it. You ain't got to worry about them coming back, because what you'll do is have them think and check themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In a
Wow.
nice way. In a nice way.
Ooh.
Because sometimes some doors you have to go back into to completely come out, to be able to complete your mission. Because sometimes people close doors and don't get the closure they need. You understand what I'm saying? If you close the door and you walk away from something, there's always that doubt or question in your mind. Maybe I should have, would have, could have. See, if people would close doors the right way, they don't have to worry about walking back into it. They walk out of it and they're free of it.
Yeah, you're right. So if anybody listening, be mindful how you close that door on an individual friendship, job, school, business partner, anything. Be careful, be very mindful.
You know what I've always said? Treat people the way you want someone to treat you. If you're
some people don't even know how. It goes back to the beginning of the conversation. Some people don't know how to treat themselves. So
that's true.
That's why they don't know how to treat others.
That is so true. Thank you for the correction. You're right about that. But those who do know better, we're going to do better.
Yes. So would you say you live in your full potential?
No, I'm not living my full potential once I do the completion of the book, once I start my podcast. And once
it's not when you started, it's the date. Now you need to set a date.
Okay. You heard me say, okay, I'll set a date. You heard me say, once I get started, then I will say, yeah, I'm living my fullest potential of the things that I procrastinated on and the things that I put to the back now needs to start coming to the front. And when you'll see my walk, it's different, because I'm gonna be walking with joy and a smile. Girl, I'll be walking with joy and a smile.
You already be walking with the little heels on. You be walking.
They're gonna be worth a good hurt. You hear me? They're gonna be worth a good hurt.
I can't wait. I'm gonna be there with my camera, everything. I can't wait to see this.
Girl, it'd be like, hey, listen, you see the people in the church and they be hallelujah. You be thinking people being fake, but you don't know what they've been through. You see their glory, but you don't know their story. And I just be so happy I cheer my own stuff on, saying I finally came out. I beat that spirit that was holding me down. So I'm looking forward to it.
I am too, and I'm proud of you too as well. And if you could leave, as we close out the podcast, if you could say something to encourage anyone that's listening, someone that may just be not knowing which way to go, or they're even living their best version of themselves, what would you say to them? What message would you leave with them to?
My message I will leave for anybody: believe more in yourself. See the good in you, how others see the good in self. Stop procrastinating. Stop letting every voice be a voice in your ear. Stop letting people talk you out of and talking you down on. And just do what you need to do for you that's going to put a smile on you. And always keep this in mind: you could never please anybody. Learn to please yourself. learn to give yourself more credit, and learn to depend on yourself. But the only way you can do this, have a relationship with God, put God first, surround yourself around positive people that's in a better position than you are, because they can help you go through your trials and errors and mistakes, because they don't been there before they got where they are.
Exactly.
And you know what? Cut off the negative people. Cut off